Alright, I'm bringing some treats out to the animals. Hey babies. We kind of had a rough day yesterday, and today feels like a continuation of said rough day. If you've been watching the last few months, we had purchased 3 turkeys, and we still have 2 of those turkeys. Catfish, the big one, has always been intended to be Thanksgiving dinner. And so I'm just throwing some organic zucchini out to the chickens. But so he's Thanksgiving dinner. We're fattening him up for that. And you know, with homestead animals, especially if you're going to eat them, and I'm going to say this, just preface this, when I say we are going to eat him, I am not personally going to eat him. I don't eat meat. Just a personal choice that I've made. I'm not a vegetarian. I do eat eggs. But I don't eat meat. So when I say we, I'm referring to the rest of my family who do eat meat, and that's fine. I want to make sure that we're having healthy meat when my kids and my husband do eat it. So raising it ourselves is definitely the way to go there. But anyway, so we had Catfish, who's over there in his fatten up pen before we butcher him in a few weeks. And then we had the 2 others. One of them, Heart. We named Heart after Hardiness Approach. Their channel's awesome. If you haven't checked them out, go check them out. So the one down there is Heart. And then we had a little bitty white one that I named Ghost. I don't know if it was a boy or girl, but I called it a she. And the intention there was to keep Heart and Ghost and raise them so that they could give us more more turkeys, because we're not supposed to have a rooster. And so if we want more chickens, we have to go get them. I can't, have them ourselves and have a self-sustaining system there. So with the turkeys, I could have males and females, and that was exciting. But the kids came out to feed the chickens and the turkeys last night, or well, it was in the evening, about 6 o'clock maybe. And one of them ran back in, and Ruben said, "There's something wrong with the white one." And I booked it downstairs and outside, and I picked her up, and she was extremely lethargic, really limp, opened her eyes a couple times, seemed to be maybe gasping every now and then, was not doing well, which was hard for me. She's my favorite. I really got attached to her. She's my favorite animal on the homestead out of all of them. And so I held her for 2 hours until she passed. I kept hoping somehow she'd perk up and be okay. I couldn't, there wasn't, I couldn't see anything majorly wrong with her. She had some pecked spots, a couple on her feet and whatnot, but no major wounds, so I really wasn't sure what was going on. But the chickens, we had just 3 weeks ago, put the chickens and the 2 younger turkeys in together, and they'd seemed okay. The chickens didn't love being with the turkeys, but they really, other than just chasing them off sometimes from food, they really hadn't seemed to be being aggressive at all. I was watching them because I was worried about it, but they seemed fine. But so I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if it was the chickens. I don't know what happened. But so she perked up a little bit. It seemed like she was maybe perking up. I knew that might not have been it, but she was seeming to perk up a little bit right towards the end, about 15 minutes before she passed. She opened her eyes more and was looking around and trying to move. And so I kind of hoped maybe she was taking a turn for the better, but then she passed, and it sucked. It sucked a lot. It was really hard, and I'm still kind of having a hard day today. We're going to bury her and then plant some blackberry bushes that we bought on over her grave, so that as her body decomposes, she's able to feed the blackberry plants. And if that sounds weird to you, I'm sorry. As far as being homesteaders, we try to make everything count. We try to make sure that things get used to their fullest. And our intention was never to eat her. she's gonna get buried anyway, and so we might as well make sure that, you know, her little short life had the maximum effect, basically. There's no sense in just burying her somewhere else on the property. Plus, that way, I don't know, when I see the blackberries, I'll think of her. So today's a hard day, and I'm out basically of one of my supplements that I take. I haven't talked a lot about my health struggles that I have. I've mentioned a few things here and there, but I really haven't discussed it because it's not something that I can just casually mention quickly in a video and you to understand. It's definitely something. Go over there, girls. Oh, maybe I'll let them out to eat a little bit. Not much to forage, but it's not something that I can just say, you know, it's this. And so I do these couple of things, and it's something that I'm continually working on. It's not something that is super easy to just fix and make all better. Here, buddy, you want some corn? And so it's something that I've thought about doing a video on, but I haven't done one. But basically, because of some health issues I have, I really struggle with anxiety and depression, and I have for a really long time. And there's other factors, but it does link back to some deficiencies and some things that I've got going on. And so I've been taking a supplement, and it's been helping a lot. And I was switching over to another one, and that other one really threw me for a loop this weekend. So I ordered the one that I had that was working, and it won't be here until tomorrow. And I have a really busy day tomorrow, so I'm saving the one that I have left for tomorrow. And so I'm not taking it today. So today is really hard. It's just not a fun day. It's not a fun day. But we're gonna get through it. It'll be okay. Tomorrow hopefully be better. And we're just, you know, we're just trying to get through all of it. It's a busy month. We had just a lot going on this month, and tomorrow or next month is going to be a really busy month too. I'm hoping December will chill. You'd think it wouldn't with Christmas, but it'll still be calmer than what we've been dealing with. Oh my goodness, it's been busy. So, all right, I have given them lots of treats they can munch on during the day. I've given Catfish his cracked corn. We're giving him lots of food so that he can kind of chunk up as much as possible before we butcher him. And yeah, we're also giving away a few of our chickens, 3 or 4 of them, to a friend. They had their chicken coop is awesome and amazing, and it's kept their chickens safe, but they had a door handle that they realized was a concern, and they were planning on fixing it, and before they could get to it, a predator got in, and all of their chickens were gone. They found some feathers and some blood, and then just no chickens. And they waited hoping the chickens would come back, and they haven't. And I know how much this friend of mine loves her chickens, and I couldn't imagine her going through the winter without chickens. And so I told her we would just give her some of ours. That was fine. You know, we've got 11 of them. I'm more than happy to share. They'll have a really great home at her place. So this week, some of our chickens will be going to a new home. I think we're going to give her one of the Americanas, one of the New Hampshires, which are the white ones with kind of the speckled black feathers around their necks and some black tail feathers. And then probably the Silver Lace Wyandotte, I think, is what we decided. And then for the 4th, I'm not sure. I'm trying to decide. See, the chicken just chased the turkey, but she didn't follow it. They were just kind of fighting over the same food. And the chickens do that to each other. And Heart is bigger. Ghost is about the size of the chickens, which I thought was okay, but apparently it wasn't. But Heart is big enough that... And she's more timid than the chickens, but she can kind of stand up for herself. And we are watching her real close if she starts to look too picked on, and that's why I came out and I'm standing here watching them eat. I'm kind of watching how they act with her. But if she starts to look too picked on, we'll move her somewhere else. We'll do something else. But I don't want her to spend the whole winter alone because it gets cold. And Catfish is okay by himself right now. He's got bedding in his doghouse that he's in, and he's okay. We won't have super cold temps before he's done, but with her we will. And so I really want her to be with the chickens so that she won't get too cold. So I'm thinking, because we wanted to be able to raise the chickens and the turkeys together, and I'm thinking next spring when we get more chickens and turkeys, see that, and I'm hoping taking some of these chickens out of here and giving them to my friend will also lessen kind of the irritation over some things. But so we're probably going to build a whole another fenced in area and enclosure for the turkeys that we're going to get next year with kind of like a hoop style house. And hopefully that'll help the situation. She's eating feed that fell out when the kids gave it to the goats. Or chickens. Wow. I didn't sleep well. It was Apollo's first night overnight in underwear, and so I slept even lighter than usual just in case he woke up. And he did once, and we did have to change his clothes, but it was because when I took him to the toilet, he was really tired and he accidentally peed on his clothes as he was sitting on the toilet. So he actually did great. Other than that, he didn't have any actual accidents. So, hey girls. So he did really well. While we're over here, this is like a chatty, boring vlog. I'm sorry. I'm kind of just a mess today. So these are raspberries we planted along here. See all the chickens following me. So we planted the raspberries along here. I think there's 11 or 12 of them. I didn't count. So they're along here. I want them to grow up and kind of offer a little bit of afternoon shade and some protection for the chickens. But now I've got to decide what I'm going to do, because if we build another pen for the turkeys, if we build it next to it, usually we would have it attached here. But because of the raspberries being here, I'm not sure if we're going to do that or if we're going to move it over and build another one and then let the raspberries grow up in the middle. And we may do that. I've got to talk to Kurt about it. We just decided yesterday that we think we really just need to keep them separate, and we'll keep the turkeys enclosed in their pen all the time, whereas the chickens, if it's just them, I'll take the top off and I'll let them free range, because they really don't leave the yard. They stay close, whereas the turkeys quickly try to leave, and we have wild turkeys that come through, and I'm afraid my turkeys will just take off. So the turkeys will probably end up staying in the run, and we'll make them a bigger run, whereas the chickens, we might just enclose them during the winter. We'll see. We've got to put siding on here. A friend gave us this plastic roofing, and there's not enough of it to do the chicken coop, but we got the goat shed all done. It looks good. I think Kurt did a good job. So this one's done. We are going to come in and put a board along the side here, because the goats are rubbing against those boards that we have on the front and popping them off. So we're going to put a board there so they can't do that. Other than that, it's all done, and I think it looks good. There's Catfish. He's pretty happy. He sits on his stump. We feed him lots. He likes to hang out by the fence because the other turkey's in there. He's okay. I know it looks small, but he's got a lot of room in there actually, and he isn't one to run or do a lot. So we put the stump in there. He likes to sit on the stump, and then there's the dog house for at night when it's cold. He's got lots of straw in there, and we bring him treats a couple times a day, so he's good. Did you see the goats ignore the carrots? Chickens are so much better at eating extra food and things than any of our other animals. The turkeys are even pickier than the chickens. They'll eat pretty much anything, and the goats and turkeys will turn up their nose, so that's funny. But I'm not sure what time we'll get the blackberries in. I'll probably need Kurt's help, so that might not be till evening. And I've got to decide exactly where I'm putting them. I don't want to put them too close to my raspberries because I heard that they can transmit plant diseases, and I don't want to do that. Because we have raspberries from, I don't know, maybe here-ish, all the way down, basically, to like there. And I'm hoping they all come up. So the blackberries, I don't want to put them over there. I have a couple options I'm thinking about. I'm just trying to decide. Yeah, baby?
Can I have lunch?
Is it lunchtime?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, you can have lunch. Wash your hands first, please. We've got to finish getting some siding on here. We've got a lot of trash we need to pick up before winter. I don't want to leave all this out under the snow. I just think it's a bad idea. Hi, sweetie. You're such a good girl, aren't you? She's my honey. She knows I don't like it when she gets hyper. And she rarely gets hyper. She'll jump up on the kids sometimes. But as soon as I come towards her, she'll either sit or roll onto her back. Because that's what I've trained her to do. She's a good girl. And she is a working dog. Her job is to stay out here and protect the animals. I have long-term goals for how I would like that to look for her, how I would like her to be kept in the yard. I would really like to fence in the whole yard. Realistically, that's thousands of dollars that we don't have. That's not going to happen anytime soon. So we're doing our best with her right now. She's got herself in a mess right now. I'm going to have to have Kurt come out and help. Sit. But she ripped off a board there on that pallet, and so she's got her chain wrapped around so she can't move much. So I'm going to have to get her uncaught, and we've got to put siding on this. We have siding on part of the other one, but not on this one, and we have a roof piece on the other one, but not on this one. Hey, sit. Thank you. So I've got to figure that out. Because with livestock guardian dogs, she's half Pyrenees, half Anatolian Shepherd. She looks like a Pyrenees though. But they will just expand their territory until they can't anymore. They'll just patrol wider and wider and wider. And so even with taking her on walks every night to do perimeter checks and just keeping in our yard, if she was allowed to roam, she would leave the yard pretty quickly. Because we don't have a ton of acreage. We only have like 1.44 acres. And so realistically, we can't just let her roam. It's not safe for the neighbors. It's against our HOA rules. So she has to stay chained at the moment. But I would really like to have the animal pens on the inside, and I would really love to build fencing just big around all the pens so that she can patrol around the pens. And we put her doghouse in there too, so that she's not on a chain, so she can parole around the perimeter of the pens and keep them safe that way. So if a predator were to try to enter, she could get at it, because right now she scares a lot of them off. They don't really come in our yard much, but if they came in, she can't get to that corner. You know, if they were attacking the chicken pen, she couldn't get to them. She could alert us and we could come out, but she couldn't actually go and defend them. So, and a longer chain's not the answer. She would just get it wrapped around her house, I think. So ideally, next year, I would really love to try to just do, you know, the turkey pen and do a wide perimeter pen. My only issue there is if we're letting the chickens out to free range, which I do like to do, she could attack them. She's really young still. She's only like 8 months right now, maybe 8 or 9. And probably could have issues for, you know, till she's like 2.5. So we're working on that. I'm trying to figure out a solution that works for all of the animals so that they are safe and protected, and she has as much freedom as I can give her. If she'd leave the chickens alone, it wouldn't be an issue. She did get one like a month and a half, 2 months ago, maybe. I can't remember. She did get one, and she did not actually hurt it. She just caught it. She caught it and pinned it and just kind of held it. And we heard a weird squawk, so we ran out. But she didn't like bite it or anything. It's like it just got in her space where she could get it, and so she just caught it. So I don't know what she would have done with it. I don't know if she would have hurt it, or, I mean, she wasn't being aggressive. As soon as I went out, she let me have it back, so I'm not sure. She's a really sweet girl. Hi, honey. I don't have food for you. I know. Do I smell like food? I smell like corn, don't I? But garden's coming along. Wow, this is a chatty one. I guess it's just kind of nice to just talk everything out sometimes, you know. I've been throwing the eggshells out here. I've been giving a few to the chickens, but I'm throwing a lot out here because I want them in the garden. This is about what we're going to do. I just don't have more mulch stuff to put on them because I had to do the raspberries, and we've got the blackberries. I'm going to go, what's it called? Rake out kind of where the tree fort area is because there's leaves and stuff in there. So I'm going to do that. I think 4 of our hens are laying now. Anyway, this is getting crazy long. I'm sorry. I'll try to film the blackberries where we decide to put them. I'm just, I don't know. It's rough. It's rough. Hopefully I'll feel better tomorrow. Because right now it's rough when you lose something that you weren't planning on losing, and you're trying to figure out how to keep all the animals happy and safe and whatever is best for them. So, you know, it's really just challenging some days. And sometimes you just need a day to think about it and let it kind of sit. And then it makes sense the next day. So that's kind of what I'm hoping. Anyway, if you have any suggestions for how we could improve the setup for all of the animals, kind of make them all happy, I'd love some good suggestions. Because, you know, more heads are better than one, right? More ideas. So anyway, I'm gonna take my stuff back inside and see what I can get done inside, and then I'll try to remember to film when we do raspberries.